Hey folks, welcome to another episode of US Home Talk. I'm your host Mike Overson with Illuminate Bank. On the show with me today, Jason Walgrave Real Estate Group at Remax Advantage Plus, talking everything real estate, everything mortgages. If you haven't caught our show before, we're on Wednesdays at noon is when we're on. You can catch all of our past shows on our website at ushometalk.com or any of the podcast services that you subscribe to. But we kind of have an open forum. We pick a topic, real estate, mortgage related. We talk about that topic, but we welcome your comments and your questions and your thoughts as well. So feel free to connect with us on, the Facebook, the YouTube. What else is there? We on MySpace? Do we have a MySpace handle?
No, not yet.
No MySpace handle.
We're working on that one. Yeah.
Too new for us. We have an AOL email account.
I get those once in a while. I still have clients that are rocking the AOL. I always give them a hard time. I'm just like the AOL and the Hotmail accounts are the two that I give people a hard time about.
Absolutely. Yep. But you could find us. You can find us on that interweb thing that they have out there. It's the interweb, I think is what it's called. Mm-hmm. And we appreciate your support. So today's topic, and this is a topic that literally we could probably string along 4 full shows on, credit, right? Mm-hmm. No one really understands how credit works. There's a lot of misconceptions out there. And whether you want to admit it or not, credit kind of runs our lives. Mm-hmm. For the people that pay cash for everything, they're going to say, no, it doesn't. I just pay cash for everything. But there's going to be things out there for sure that you need, that you rely on, that mm-hmm. credit does count, such as home insurance. Yep. And Evan can comment about that. When you get home insurance, they look at your credit score, and that can affect your rate that you pay on home insurance. And employment's another thing, right?
Yep.
Employers will pull credit. There's certain credit requirements for certain industries that you have to meet. I think the financial planning industry, I think you have to meet certain credit requirements just to even to be able to get your license in that.
Yep.
So
the military,
another thing.
Yep. I mean, where they place you in the military, your credit score drives that. And so, I mean, it's, I know somebody that was going into the military, graduated college with, a couple master's degrees and was expecting to go one direction, and he had some dings on his credit, and they put him on a completely different direction, completely different, from officer training, this way to actually you're going to be, damn near front line, and that was a credit score and some debt, a little bit of debt, but that was on the credit report, and that's what drove that, and that changed. I mean, that changed the whole outcome of the, the path, right?
That's a life-changing trajectory right there. Like it changed the projection.
Totally. Yep.
So whether you want to admit it or not, credit runs our lives. Back when I first got in the mortgage business back in 2004, this is a little bit before I got in. So this is June of 04 is when I got in. So this might've been like the spring of 04. One of the guys that was doing mortgages at that time, said that same thing. He's like, look, credit runs our lives.
Yep.
The number one thing you need to do as a young person is establish credit. So we're talking about today ways that you might be accidentally, right, improving your credit score. So let's just kick off this list. So number 1 here, keeping older credit cards active. Mm-hmm. Okay. Misconception there. Hey, I got these 5 credit cards, right? I signed up for this credit card at a T-Wolves game, 10 years ago to get a free T-shirt. Yeah. Don't really use it at all. Like, I'm just going to close it because I don't use it. And I heard if you have a bunch of open credit out there, it actually hurts your credit score, right? Because then it shows that you could charge up and rack up a bunch of debt and stuff.
Yeah.
No, completely wrong. You're completely wrong there. Okay. So you got a 10-year-old card, whatever, Capital One or whatever, because you got the free T-Wolves shirt. Okay. You got 10 years of history on there. Perfect payments. Haven't used it much. Haven't charged much on it, but you got 10 years of perfect payment history on it. As soon as you close that card, that 10 years of history goes away. Yeah. Your score will go down.
Yeah. I have a card. I think I got it. I must have got it in college because it has a really low limit on it. It's got a low limit on it. I never use it. I think it even has I think they charge me, it's like a $4 a month fee,
Fee.
to have it, to have it open. And again, I don't use it for anything. So, like every 5 months, I'll send in $20, and then that covers me for the next 5 months for the $4 fee. But it's 25 years or so of history, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get rid of it. So I
Right.
mean, there's a 25-year-old account is, I mean, that has some value in the credit score world. So I just kept it and I keep it. And but Mike, you're right. A big misconception, and we advise buyers on this. A lot of times when we meet them in the beginning, they're like, okay, because we ask, do you have credit cards, do you have accounts? Try to establish what their current situation is, and a lot of them will say, yeah, I got this one card, I don't use it, I'm just going to cancel it. Don't cancel it. Don't cancel it, because it erases all that history. Your credit score, is it 30% of your score comes from the history, or is it 35%?
10% comes
10%
from the
from history.
length of history.
Length of the history. Okay,
Length of history is 10% of your score.
got it.
Payment history is the biggest factor. That's
Yep.
35% of your
35. So 35% on payment history, 10% on the length of how long you've had the card open
score. Correct.
or the account open. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
So don't close those cards. Don't close those little cards that you really don't use anymore, right? I have I think I got 4 cards, right? I use one, right? You all have our main card, right? We get the cash back, we get the miles, we get the this, right? So we put everything on that, and we pay it off, right? But how do you keep the other ones open and active? Well, I have Netflix going on one card.
Yeah.
Just an auto pay, right?
Yeah.
Netflix once a month, boom, I just paid off. That's the only thing I use that card on, but it keeps that history going, keeps
Yeah.
that activity going, right? The other card that I have is actually the card that I use the T-Wolves game, to get a free T-shirt, because back when I was in my first year of college, I went to a T-Wolves game,
Yeah.
signed up for a credit card to get a free T-shirt. It's my first T-Wolves game I had ever gone to. I still have that card today.
Yeah.
It's got about a $38,000 credit limit on it because I've had it forever now.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And that particular card, you can get 3% cash back on whatever category you pick. So I pick gas,
Yeah.
right? So I use that card only for gas in my truck, right? And I get the 3% back. And I use it for that, and that's it, right? Then I have my main card over here that I just do all my daily stuff on. But nonetheless, I still have that card, and I got all that history, just like you, Jason. You got all that history on it. If I got rid of that card, my score would go down.
Yep. Yeah, it would definitely go down.
So keep those older credit cards active. Keep them open, especially if you get good history on them and low balances. Okay, number two reason why you may be accidentally improving your credit score. You don't apply for credit a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jason, what happens when you apply for a credit card?
They pull your credit, and your credit score drops. And it's I still get it weekly. I don't know. I'm somewhere at some store. They're like, oh, hey, you want to save $50 today by, applying for the store credit card? I mean, I give them credit. They're aggressive at it, right? I mean, it's a weekly offer at some type of store that I'm at, and so, if you're not doing that, if you're not applying for new credit cards or new credit or car loans or whatever the case is, because it's just, you don't need it. So why would you get another card? Then that's gonna keep your score up.
Absolutely. So every credit pull, this is outside of the auto industry and the home industry, though the rules for those are a little different. But if you get into your Memorial Day sales, right, or your July 4th sales, right, you're going to go out there, you got to get some stuff, you're going to make 3 stops, and you open up 3 credit cards because you're going to get the discount for that day or for that particular holiday or whatever, right? 5 to 15 points is going to come off for every pull. So if 15 points comes off in every pull for your situation, those 3 credit cards you just opened dropped your score 45 points.
And folks,
in one day.
In one day, if you're going from, that would mean if you started at a 740, you're going to be at a 695, and that's a whole different set of options when you're talking about loan programs.
Exactly. Now those points do come back, but it takes 120 days for those points to come back on. It takes 4 months.
It takes that long?
It takes 4 months.
Wow.
Right? So just now if you got an 800 credit score and you're going to go do a big purchase, right? You got a bunch of furniture. You're going to sell all your furniture that you have now on Facebook Marketplace. You're going to outfit your house with furniture, okay? Go ahead, open up that furniture store card, get the discount, right? You do that once or twice a year, no big deal, right? But if you're going out there and doing it for every holiday sale that comes up, not a good plan, right? Not a good plan to keep your credit up. Okay, so number 2.
It's tied to that, Mike. If you have too many open accounts, Doesn't that negatively impact your credit score, or too many inquiries?
The inquiries, yeah, each inquiry, right, will drop your score 5 to 15 points.
Yep.
So just having them pull your credit, even if you don't open the card, right?
Yep.
I applied for it,
Yep.
and they pulled my credit, and then I decided I didn't want to open the card. Well, because they pulled your credit, that's an inquiry that's going to drop your score.
Got it.
So, all right, that was the number 2 reason how you're accidentally improving your credit is you don't sit there and apply for credit a lot. Let's go to number 3. You don't accumulate high balances on your credit cards. Hugely important.
Hugely important.
Hugely important. So we spoke about your payment history. Making payments on time is the number 1 factor. That's 35% of your score. The second biggest factor that makes up 30% of your score, right, is the ratio from your balances to the credit limit.
Yep.
Okay. And I usually explain it like this. You have this credit card, it's got a $10,000 limit on it. Okay. As soon as your balance reaches 25%, your score is going to go down. When it reaches 50%, it's going to go down even more. When it hits 75%, it's going to go down even more. And if you max that puppy out or go over the limit, it really hits your score.
Yeah.
I've seen one credit card hit a score 83 points before. Because if you max that thing out, your score is down here.
Yeah.
When the guy paid it off, his score went up here. And the reason why it jumped so much is because that was the only card he had. Right? So his entire credit score is based on the activity on that one card.
Yeah.
If it's maxed out, the credit scoring model sees that as a high risk of default. You're going to default on that thing because you have one card and it's maxed out. Okay.
But Mike, I use one card. I charge it all the way up every month. I like the points. I'm getting some, cash back stuff. I never carry a balance. And what I mean is every time I get my bill in the mail, I pay the whole thing off. So I've never paid any interest on my credit cards. So that's a good thing, right?
Well, no. And there's a little trick to that,
Yes,
right?
yes.
There's a little trick to that. But before I tell you what the trick is and how to address that situation, we're actually going to go do our legal minute first.
All right.
When we come back, I'm going to teach you guys my credit card trick that I try to teach to all of my clients.
This is Jeff O'Brien, attorney with Hush Blackwell, with the U.S. Home Talk Legal Minute. Have you ever wondered why you have to fill out a property disclosure statement when you sell your home? Of course, it is because the law requires you to do so. Subject to certain exceptions, Minnesota law requires a seller of residential real property to complete a written disclosure form to prospective buyers before signing a purchase agreement to sell the home. The seller must disclose all material facts of which the seller is aware of that could adversely and significantly affect an ordinary buyer's use and enjoyment of the property, or any intended use of the property of which the seller is aware. The disclosure must be made in good faith and be based upon the best of the seller's knowledge at the time of the disclosure. This is Jeff O'Brien, attorney with Hush Blackwell, with the U.S. Home Talk Legal Minute.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Love Jeff. I actually literally just spoke to him yesterday.
Jeff's awesome.
He's the man. He is the man. All things legal as far as real estate goes. The guy is a human dictionary when it comes to that. Okay, so the credit card trick. Here's my credit card trick. So Jason, your comment was, well, what if I just charge everything through the month, right? All my bills and all that stuff goes on one card, but then I pay it off in full at the end of the month, right? When my bill comes out, right, I just pay it off in full. The problem with that is that the balance that reports in your credit report is the balance on your most recent statement. So if you have a $5,000 limit and you're charging $4,000 a month on that thing, when your statement comes out, shows you owe a balance of $4,000. Even if you go pay that thing off in full, that $4,000 balance reports on the credit report. And the scoring model again sees you have $4,000 charged against a $5,000 card. You almost got that thing maxed out. Your score is going to get hit by it.
So what's the solution?
So the trick is find out when your billing cycle ends. So let's say, for example, your billing cycle ends on the last day of the month, ends on the 30th of the month. Okay. You need to set a reminder to make a full payment on that card on the 27th. Okay. So make a full payment on the 27th, maybe the 28th. Give enough time for that payment to post, knock your balance down. So now when the 30th hits, you got a zero balance on that thing. Now that zero balance will report to your credit report because your billing cycle just ended, and now your report's going to show a zero balance against a $5,000 card, and now your score's up.
And folks, that's probably about a week from when you get the statement in the mail or you get it emailed to you. It's probably about a week from the actual date on the statement. So it isn't like you have to pay it, 2, 3, 4 weeks ahead of time. It's probably about a week. But that it does. I mean, that's a great way to utilize your credit cards, earn the points and the miles and the cash backs, and still let it positively affect your credit score.
Yep. Yeah, you can operate exactly how you're doing it now,
Yep.
right? All you're doing is you're going to move your payment up a week, right? So you make a full payment typically on the 30th of the month. Now you're going to make that full payment on the 23rd of the month or whenever that billing cycle ends, and then good.
Yep.
So that's the trick I try to teach everyone. All right, next way that you're accidentally improving your credit, you're piggybacking off a family member's credit. So what does that mean?
Yep, that's I used this one. I added my daughter to 3 of my accounts when she was still 18. She wanted to buy a house and didn't have a credit score, no credit score, 0 credit, and so she was in college, so she went out and got 3 credit scores or 3 credit cards. By the way, folks, if you're in college, it's very easy to get a credit card, even if you don't have a credit score. And then I added her to 3 of my accounts that had very, very long history, with obviously no lates or anything like that. And she went from no credit score to 735 in like 60 days.
Yep. Yeah, so adding your kids, so parents, if you're adding your kids on there as like an authorized user on your card, that your credit history on that particular card is going to flow over to them, and it's going to positively impact their credit score. And you can literally have someone whose accounts for 2 months, right? 2 months is not long. Like, well, we don't know if you're going to make your payments on time if you've only had an account for 2 months, right? You usually got to have at least 6 months worth of history to generate a score. But if you're piggybacking off someone else, right, a family member, boom, you're at a 735 2 months into it. Like, that's golden, right?
Just
That's
make
great.
sure if you're piggybacking on a good account.
Yeah. Yes, very good advice.
Oh, look at this. Fun fact.
FICO score originated in the 1970s. Look at trying to track how people are shopping, what things behind the grocery store.
Ha!
Look at that. That's a fun fact, huh?
That is really good.
And the FICO score, the FICO score. Now, there's 9 different versions of the FICO, right? So it depends on what you're applying for. A credit card FICO score is going to be different from a mortgage FICO, which is going to be different from an auto FICO.
Yep.
But yeah, so the FICO score, and that's what basically all lenders use today. Still, at least on the mortgage side of things, it's a FICO score. It's your mortgage, or your FICO 8 or FICO 9, which is the mortgage one. So very interesting. There's also this thing called a Vantage score out there. It's a completely different scoring model. It's a different scale. The FICO score goes from 350 to 850. The Vantage score goes from 450 to 950. So if you're looking online and it says, hey, get your credit score here, and you're at a 900 or something like that, and you're like, I'm at a 900, right? And you tell someone that, they're going to be like, well, the scale only goes to 850. How can you be at 900? Well, the 900 is because you're looking at a Vantage score, which has a different scale. So anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
What businesses or retailers use the Vantage score?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I don't know who actually uses the Vantage score for lending purposes.
Okay.
If you have like a credit monitoring app,
Yep.
such as
Credit Karma.
Credit Karma, right? They
Yep.
use a Vantage score.
Yep.
There's a FICO office in Roseville, Minnesota. Interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, so Vantage, I don't know who uses it for Vantage. Maybe some of these online lenders, or if you're looking for a personal loan, Credit
sure.
Karma, did they do personal loans too now that you might be able to
I think
apply
they do.
for?
I think they're all kind of tied in with some of the credit card and lending institutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So they, on personal loans and stuff like that, maybe they use a Vantage score. But if you're talking about your typical auto loans, mortgages, things like that,
FICO.
to my knowledge, it's all FICO. They still all use FICO scores. Okay. Let's go. Next reason, we got 2 left here? We got 2 left. Next reason why, or how you're accidentally improving your credit, you have selected to make auto-scheduled payments on your monthly bills. So, and that goes down to payment history, right? If you have an auto payment that goes out and you schedule it for the right day, so it doesn't go out late, so it goes on time, well, you're going to have on-time payment history on all your accounts, right? So, and that just ties back into your payment history, where the 35% of your score, right? The biggest factor to your credit score is your payment history. Do you make payments on time or not? If you do, it's the biggest factor, right? Make your payments on time. So setting those auto-scheduled payments can help you out with that clearly. And then the last thing here is you check your credit report regularly, right? Because Jason, credit reports, but they're always 100% accurate, right?
Always accurate. 100%.
100%. right?
And someone else will take care of it for you. You don't have to
It's
worry
someone else's job to monitor your credit, right? Make sure it's
Yep.
correct.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, but that is a misconception. We
It
all
is.
know that, right? It is not anyone else's job besides your own to make sure that your credit report is accurate. People make mistakes. People fat finger stuff. For example, back in 2006, I pulled my credit once, and I had 14 accounts showing up on my credit report that were not mine. Okay, and when I got down to it, the guy's accounts that showed up on my credit report, same first name, same middle name, completely different last name, but our socials were one number off.
Oh, really?
So someone fat
Yeah.
fingered it, right? And
Yeah.
then all his accounts showed up on mine, and he had a Harley account, like a Harley Davidson with a few late payments on it, and some other accounts, stuff like that. I'm like, I've never owned a Harley in my life. Clearly, that's not mine. So it got figured out. It all got fixed. But I would, no one told me. It's like, hey, I didn't get an alert saying, hey, these accounts just showed up on your credit report.
Yeah.
That I would never would have known unless I had checked my own credit.
Yeah.
And you don't have to, I guess you don't have to check it monthly.
No.
Maybe a couple times a year, maybe just
Yeah.
get a free credit report, take a look at it, see if
Yeah.
something's goofy.
I mean, I have a credit monitoring, and so I get a monthly report, and it's, and it, sends me messages. Hey, your email was found on the dark web, or or your, whatever. So I like that, and I can't remember too. I had in the 3 bureaus. I think I have one frozen, because I had a couple different fraud things happen with something. And so I mean, the credit monitoring is great. If you really want to keep a close eye on it, I think it's only like 15 or 20 bucks a month, or, so you don't need it. You can just do the free credit reports every few months and, keep an eye on it that way. But if you want to take it a step further, get a monthly monitoring system, which I really like.
And does your credit monitoring system also like have some sort of like identity theft protection
It does.
with it too?
Yep.
Right?
Yep, it's got identity theft. It'll, every month it'll generate a full credit report every month, and then it's got your FICO. It's got the the 3 credit bureaus. I like it because I like keeping an eye on things.
Yep. Yeah. So, those are great tips, right? Those are great tips. You might be doing a lot of these things already, and you don't even know that they're affecting your credit score that well. But again, it's, that's why there are ways you're accidentally improving your credit score. There's something to, if you're not doing some of these things, start
Yep.
doing them.
Start doing
them, because again, credit will runs our lives. It
Well,
certainly does.
and what usually happens is when we don't really, a lot of times we can't predict when we need credit, and so, a lot of times people are like, oh my goodness, this is the house, I got to buy it. This is the house. And they haven't even did a mortgage application, or they haven't even pulled credit. And it's like, well, that credit, that's not right. That account's not mine. So, well, we gotta fix that before we can move forward with, maybe a particular loan, or whatever the case is. So keep an eye on it. It's better to be prepared and ready to go when you need credit. Sometimes you need it quickly. And if there's mistakes on your credit report, or you're not monitoring it, it could delay, and potentially lose something that you want to buy. So,
And credit fixes are usually slow.
yeah, they're slow.
They're slow to fix, right?
Yep.
Quick to go away, but slow to fix.
No kidding.
So, hey, we appreciate everyone tuning in today. We will be back next Wednesday at noon with another show. We hope you enjoyed our content today. On behalf of Jason Walgrave, I am Mike Overson with US Home Talk. We'll see you next week.